This is your host, Tyrese, with co-anchors Mia and Tanaya. And welcome to TMT News. So today we have three topics to talk about today in our fun segment at the end. Now we're going to start with Tanaya and her topic.
Thank you, Tyrese. And today we will be talking about technology. And first for our topic for today, I will be talking about Facebook's fake news problem. What is responsibility? Facebook is under fire for failing to ring in fake and base news stories that some believe may have swayed the presidential election. Its predicament stemmed from this basic conundrum. It exercises great control over the news users sees, but it declined to assume its editorial responsibility that traditional publishers do. On Monday, Facebook took a minor step to address the issue, clarifying its advancing policy to emphasize that it won't display ads on sites that run information that is legally misleading or deceptive, which includes fake news. Facebook is also said to be facing brewing internal turmoil over its influence and what it should do about it. So my next topic will be about technology. I will be talking about the BlackBerry Classic. It is being discontinued, and Chief Operating Officer and General Manager for Devices at BlackBerry wrote in a blog posting saying, even though the Classic has long surpassed the average lifespan for a smartphone in today's market, we are ready for this change so we can give our customers something better. BlackBerry has been under pressure to bolster its underperforming handset business, and it's placing its hopes to making phones that run on Google's operating system. RIP Classic BlackBerry. For my next topic, we will be talking about Facebook's WhatsApp. Turn on encryption for 1 billion users. Every private message, photo, video, or file sent over Facebook's WhatsApp is now encryptized. Defaults for the messages service on 1 billion users. The issue has between balancing privacy and national security concerns has long been discussed between Silicon Valley politicians and law enforcement, but it was the FBI versus Apple case that dragged it into the spotlight. The FBI dropped the case last month after it said it was able to access an encryptized iPhone belonging to one of the San Bruno's shooters. For my next topic, I'm talking about Google teaches machines to become more fluent translators. Google is promoting that its widely used translation service is now even more fluent, thanks to an advance that enabling its computers to interpret complete sentences. Now that Google's machines can interpret entire sentences, the translation of extended passages of text should read and should sound more like speakers of the language. The technology, dubbed neural machine translation, is similar to what Google has been using for the past few years to identify people and objects and creatures stored in their photo service. Google describes its neural machine tool as the biggest leap for its translation service in a decade. Google's part of Alphabet Inc. eventually hopes to apply the national machine technology on all 103 languages in its translation service. Also, I have a good topic about tips on protecting devices from hackers. How do you know if you have an Internet of Things device? If you have a device that is capable of connecting to the internet or shares information over a wireless network in your home, it is promptly insecure and can be charged for a cyber attack. Some tips are making sure you are aware of what you are connecting to the internet and think about what is necessary. If a device comes with a default password, make sure you change it. You should also change the password on your wireless network at home. Use complex passphrases to ensure your device is not easily hacked. Contacting the manufacturer or vendor of the device may not always help. The Homeland Security Department sends out public alerts about vulnerabilities through its U.S. CERT program that you can sign up for on its website. You can also connect to department daily. Back to Tyrese.
Interesting news story time. Now let's go to Mia and her topic.
Thank you, Terry. Okay, so today's topic is going to be about world events. On November 8, 2016, Trump won President of the U.S. with 279 electoral votes and 47 popular votes. His nominees were Hillary Clinton, Gary Johnson, and Jill Stein. My next interesting fact is city accused of naming too many public squares after white people. My other interesting fact is there was a grenade attack by Athens, only 64 injured and 24 killed.
Wonderful story, Mia. Now I'll be talking about my topic. So my topic is about bullying because it sounded very interesting to do. So as of right now, 3.2 million students are being bullied each year. This is a global amount of the United States. Teens are skipping school every day because of bullying. Teens feel like skipping school is going to solve their problems. The exact definition of bullying is using someone's superior strength to imitate someone, typically to force him or her to do what one wants. 17% of American students report bullying 2 or 3 times. The student feels like if they tell an adult, then they think the bully might interfere with them again. This is why kids are committing suicide because they do not have to speak to an adult about their problems. 90% of why bullies have done bad things is because they get attention. Some bullies just pick with people, just have fun. Majority of the time, bullies just mess with people to get their anger out, and that person would think that he's suspect. Alright, so now that we are done with our news topics for today, we finally come to an end with our fun segment topic. Here's tonight with our fun segment topic.
Thank you, Tyrese. Hi. Again with TNT News today for our fun topic, we're going to be talking about the election and presidency. Obviously, everybody knows who won the presidency, Donald Trump, with 290 of 538 electoral votes, and also with Hillary Clinton and the loser with 232 of 538 electoral votes. Today I will be talking about Donald Trump's background and his views on political issues. Donald Trump has 5 children and was educated at Wheaton School of the University of Pennsylvania, Fort Henry University, the New York Military Academy, also the Crew Force School. His wife or spouse is Melania Trump. They were married in 2005. Trump thinks it is not accessible to RIP babies from womb in 9th month. He has involved on abortion issues like Donald would like to ban late abortions, inspections for rape, incest, or health. He is pro-life. After years of being pro-choice, Donald is pro-life. Fight Obamacare abortion funding. Donald Trump's views on education. He thinks Common Core is a disaster. He would end Common Core. Donald Trump says, well, first of all, I think it's going to kill Bush. And I think that education should be local, obviously. Donald thinks that for people in Washington should be setting curriculum and to be setting all sorts of sayings. That is what you're going to be studying. I think personally, Common Core helps us learn better in a lot, and should not end. He should not end Common Core. I just hope and pray that he can help fix our country and the state of Illinois and make America great again. Thank you for tuning in to TNT News.
Well, that's all for today at TNT News. I'm your host, Harry, and we'll see you next time.